Hello lovelies, we're at the end of week 7 on 125 milligrams of sertraline to treat neural circuit dizziness, MDDS, PPPD and CPTSD. I've had a good couple of days. I'm on my own again in Margate. Symptoms have been about a 4, which is great. Probably because I've been so distracted, and I think it's because I've come out of a dip which lasted quite a few weeks. So yeah, not too bad. Been sleeping a lot, eating a lot, smoking a lot. Anyway, I want to say hello to Paula, by the way. Paula is one of my followers on YouTube. We had a little chat last night via Facebook Messenger. I called her, had a little chat. She's been ill for some time, but the time really doesn't matter. I think it's just a case of not knowing what it is for a long time, and going through the whole medical system and being messed about and told we don't really know what it is, or being given different diagnoses and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, because I'm feeling okay, there's not that much to report, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Firstly, I'm part of a Facebook group, nothing to do with dizziness whatsoever. It's a group for vaccine injured, because obviously the PPPD started after my second COVID vaccine, because I got BPPV from it. So I am part of that group. And something somebody shared really stood out to me, and I know what Unique would say. If Dr. Yo, if you're watching, hi, love you. But I know she'd probably say, okay, well, yeah, give it a go. Why not? But, it's yet another thing treating the body, and you need to do the emotional work. Agreed. I do need to do the emotional work. I'm kind of preempting what she'd say to me here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But it's something called NeuroSim, and it's a vagal nerve stimulator that helps people with dysautonomia, that kind of stuff. And a lot of people in the vaccine damage group actually are suffering from TMS, but I don't think they realise, and I'm not going to be the person to shout about it, because some people just don't want to hear it. So anyway, I'm not going into that, but I thought it was interesting, and I've looked it up, and it's expensive, but it's working for people. And if your nervous system is so dysregulated that you're just in fight or flight all the time, I think it's worth a go. So I'm going to trial it. And let you know how I get on. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to have a look at it yourself. But it's backed by science, and it's quite interesting looking at it, because sometimes the work that we need to do can seem overwhelming. It's not, but it can seem that way if sort of things in your life are against you and all that kind of stuff. You still got ongoing stress or grief, in my case. All that sort of stuff. So I thought, why not give it a go? So I'll let you know how I get on with that. Secondly, I wanted to talk about antidepressants, because I've been on them for about a year and a half now, and there's just a couple of things that you need to be aware of when you're starting. I do think you can recover from neural circuit dizziness without tablets. Absolutely you can, but there's some people that need them, and I was one of those people, because I was at a 10 all the time, and my dad was dying. So I had to have something to help me manage that period. So start off small. Obviously, listen to your doctor above everything else. Listen to whoever's prescribing, and they will, in the UK, I think the minimum therapeutic dose is 50 milligrams of sertraline specifically. In the US, I believe it's 25 milligrams, correct me if I'm wrong, of Zoloft. So that's the same thing. Okay, so they'll want you to be on 50 to start with, and I would recommend, because your nervous system's in such a state and you're dizzy, and it's a scary prospect. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified of taking them, but I knew I had to. So I took less than a quarter of a tablet to begin with, and really, really slowly titrated up. And you are going to get an increase in symptoms, but it only lasts for a short period. I strongly recommend that you make plans for about 2 to 3 weeks, and let people around you know what you're doing, and that you need comforting, and that you're going to need, like, you won't want to be alone. You know, you'll go through I went through about 3 days of dry mouth, then it went on to something else, and then something else, and then increased dizziness, and then I couldn't stand up and I felt faint, but then it just levels out. It does. And also you need to be prepared that you're going to put weight on. It's absolutely guaranteed you're going to put weight on. And I was told that by the psychiatrist. He said, look, you know, Prozac, he said, is the only one where people don't put weight on, anecdotally. But he said, I said, how much weight will I put on? He said, at least 2 stone. And he was right. I think I've put on 3. But also I've not been, because I was in such a state before I took the meds. In 2022, my step count was 28,000 steps a day. That equates to 12 miles a day, guys. I dropped 6 stone in weight. I was ill. I was really ill, and it didn't look good on me. It really didn't. Now, I know it's not about looks, but my God, it was horrible, and I looked grief-stricken. It was horrendous. So I am glad to have put the weight on, but I've put it all on my belly, which is unhealthy. So I do need to address that. But at the moment, I'm finding like it slowed me down. It stopped me from doing all those steps a day, but it's kind of slowed me down a bit too much. But it's helped me sleep, helped me get back to eating again. And help me to be able to live a sort of half reasonable life. I mean, I'm still impaired. Everything I do is I have symptoms with me all the time, but it's manageable. You know, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for Sertraline. I would eventually, but it wouldn't have been as quick. So I've recovered quicker than I would have done had I not taken the medication. So that's something to bear in mind. Anyway, yeah, as I said, I've been okay the last few days. Been on my own, been completely fine about it. Slept well, had good time at the market. So yeah, but you know, it's like this, isn't it? It's like the stock market's up and down, up and down. So anyway, I hope you guys are okay. If you're not, reach out, and I will speak to you next Sunday. And I'll put a link in the description for NeuroSim, and have a read of it and let me know what you think. All right, speak to you soon. Love you guys.